So if you get on X or the news, you hear a lot of fear, like it's doom and gloom. Um, and I kind of look at it like this. There's a few different levels. Um, if you took self-driving cars, let's say, okay, before self-driving cars can run the economy, you just got to be very practical and go, well, how are you going to fund polices and courts from all the traffic fines that happen? What is going to happen to insurance companies? Like, there's going to be all these behind the scene things that are going to happen to slow
Yep.
down the actual progress. I'm not saying self-driving cars are good or bad. I'm just saying just I know how the world works, and that's like there's big money tied to this stuff, and those
Yep.
lobbies are going to stop it. So there's that. And you can see like in New York right now, there's a lawsuit for giving legal advice and a handful of other things AI can't do. I don't know what the status of that is, but I saw that the other day. So you're going to have groups that are going to push back on how far AI can go.
Yep.
And so I don't think the fear is, as we mentioned earlier, we don't know as society what we want, but then there's the fear of it's going to crash. But then you see, I think these institutions are going to push back. But it can cut jobs. Like I don't want to be flippant. Like oh no, because I have Claude. Right, I'm on screen right now. I have Claude, Gemini, and Perplexity all open. So I don't want to say like I'm not a believer. I definitely am.
Yep.
But what are you hearing from the entrepreneur side? Like, are people that come to you guys, are they excited? Are they fearful? Because you can
I
pay it a
think
lot of
they're
different
more
ways.
excited.
Yeah.
Like what's funny, the X that I live in, the folks that I follow, everything about AI is almost too positive, where every new update, every new tool is light years better than everything else. And sometimes that's true, but most of the time, you click through and realize like, all right, this is just another kind of crappy skin of something. But I think entrepreneurs, and that's who I follow and deal with, who we sell to, who we serve, we're all just by default the optimistic ones. We're chasing way too many shiny objects. And so to us, I think, we see us and our customers that we tend to only see the positive, and sometimes that can be a bad thing, but it's also in the gold rush years, those are the people that said, screw it. I know we should be scared of those Rocky Mountains and the 3,000-mile hike, and, wild animals are going to try to kill us around every turn, but we know there's gold over there and we're going to go find it. Um, and so that's the folks that I follow and see and hear from. Overall, I think there's a little bit of skepticism. Um, but for the most part, it's look, we have seen enough of how good this can be, and we have seen how fast it has gotten better. So even if it's not everything we want it to be today, we got to be all over this because it's going to be even better 6, 12 months from now. Um, and we've gotten zero pushback as we've baked it more into the product. For example, today we have a little chat bot inside of Samcart. You can basically go from A to Z in 10, 15 minutes. And that includes everything. You can go in and say, hey, I have a digital product idea. I want to write an ebook or create a course or create a coaching program. And my specialty is baseball. And it'll walk you through that market, look at sub markets with you, identify specific problems that you can solve, and you can pick one or you can give your own. And as soon as you kind of let it know, hey, this is where I want to go, I want to help college coaches who coach pitchers and their pitchers struggle with X, it will then outline everything. You can put your own voice in it if you want. And then when you say, okay, I like this, let's actually make it, with one click, it will then load up our kind of AI designer, write the entire thing and design it, and hand you kind of a working, editable, almost like a Word doc, where you can change whatever text you want, or you can let it go, and you have a digital product ready to go. One more press of the mouse, you have a full landing page, multi-step funnel, ads, social content, email. I mean, that's where it is. Like that used to take me in 2010 a month. And that was when I was good at it. The first time it took me a year to, I didn't even know you had to do some of these steps, like decide what specific problem your product's going to solve. It can't just be broad, or niche down to find, somebody really specific you want to help. And I think they have seen that, hey, when you use these things correctly, they really can save so much time and allow, a one man, one woman team to do what a team of 10 used to, spend weeks doing. So,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think you're spot on there. That um, the big thing right now for entrepreneurs is to understand that AI tools like yours, they can all help improve your margins and make it faster. But you touched on something there I want to go back to. You said in your voice. And I see this a lot, the AI slop and all this stuff. And I can just tell you, like, okay, between me and you, I've gotten people who have wrote posts about AI slop. I've used AI to comment on them, and then they get re-engaged, not realize. So it's really, AI
Yep.
slop is real. There is some trash out there, but it is not that hard to have AI write stuff that is
Yeah.
good. And the
And it's
your
going
voice
away
thing,
faster and faster. Like
yes,
the every week that goes by, it gets more and more damn near impossible to tell who wrote what.
exactly, exactly. And so, but the your voice thing is interesting because people for so long have been your voice, your voice, your voice, and as a content creator side, it's like, man, what is my voice? You really struggle. And then now the AI slop thing, it's like, if we're being honest, guys, if you gave me a book about baseball, how to swing the bat better, I don't know what your voice is. Just tell me what to
Yeah,
do,
exactly.
right? And so and so I wonder how much of that is people just like, oh, you know, they're trying to kind of pigeonhole the market. And it's like, okay, you can go back on my Twitter from tax season last year. I downloaded the KJV, some Psalms, and I had it write tweets about from Psalm 23, anti-tax day tweets, and it wrote them just like the KJV would. Like, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, the tax man is with me. You know, my fear. You know? And so I've had it write a story like Sherlock Holmes. It's really not that hard to get above it. And so I think for those out there hearing this, going, "Oh, my voice," and I'm not picking on you. I'm saying like it's a fear, and it's like most people don't care about your voice. Like, if you're Ernest Hemingway, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah,
But for the rest of us,
yeah,
it's not hard to
yeah.
fix.
Yeah, when we tell our like I guess my point talking about their voice, our one of the things our customers are doing is the example I gave where a lot of them sell digital products. So if they're writing an ebook, they could just let the AI write the book. Like they could say, "Okay, I don't know anything about baseball. Write me, an ebook 40 pages long with top 10 tips on how to throw a ball harder." We highly discourage that because I mean you could go down that route and basically be a faceless brand and a brainless brand and just take Claude's information and package it up, all the best baseball tips, create books and courses and digital products and whatever. But where my mind goes is, okay, let's play this out. Let's say you crush it and you're one of the biggest baseball, you know, knowledge businesses out there, and hundreds of thousands of people have gone through your stuff and you get invited to speak on stage. What are you going to say up there? Like you don't know what you're talking about. So when we say your voice, where we're normally like we're referring to is what you know about that topic, like how you would help people, your solution to that problem. Don't just let AI write it. In the short term, it might be faster and it might even work and your customers might even actually like it. But I would rather share what I actually think. That's where I think it's like you're a pro. It's why again, you go back to the coaching example. Someone would hire you to coach because yes, I could get the same stuff from ChatGPT or Claude, but I want your experience and I want it tailored to me. That's something I can't go to Claude and say, "Hey, what would Ryan say about, this exit strategy or whatever?" I'm sure maybe it would get some of it right, but I'd rather talk to you for an hour and kick around, everything we need to that, AI can't do yet.
No, yeah, that's a great distinction there because um, if you go back to the baseball analogy, if you have, and I didn't play baseball, so I'm a fan, but you know more about this than me. But I think this will work, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. But you got 9 batters, okay, and you're working with batter 4, and the power hitter, the slugger, but you might realize that he really struggles with the curveball. And you realize that he struggles with the curveball for certain reasons that's different than someone else struggling with them. And so the reason
Yep.
that he struggles with them, he needs to work on this thing. But then in
Yep.
that thing, you also realize that, okay, when he does this, and so there's certain levels of how you're going to tell him to prepare. And so
Yep.
there's kind of best practices, which is what AI can kind of tell you to do. But then there's a great book by a lady, I can't remember her name, and I know that she's controversial in the poker space, but anyways, and she talks about was playing poker and how it's really just odds based. Business is odds based, and I love that analogy because you're really just playing odds. What are the best odds for success here? And you're trying to
Yep.
increase your chances in that way, and that's what AI really is going to struggle because it can't understand that four spot. Does he move his
Yep.
foot? Have bats? It's not really going to understand. It can help. It can help the expert understand the variables better, but
Yeah.
it's not even going to understand all of the variables to even ask per se. And so, to your point about the voice, I go back to that. I love that because it's going to give you generic stuff. And if you're trying to get out there, like I'll put out stuff about QSBS. It's how to sell your business with no taxes. It's legit, not a scam. But if a client asks me
Yeah.
about it,
I'm living proof that that's not a scam.
okay, there you go. um, but if a client asks me about it, you know what I tell them to do? I got a tax attorney you should talk to. Like I will, the content I will make is not surface level. It's a little bit beneath that because what I did was I built a notebook LM. And I used Perplexity and Claude and Gemini to build out all the sources, and then I tried to have them bust it. But that's not tax advice, right? Don't call me for
Yeah.
tax advice. I'm not that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
But I can kind of create a little bit of content for owners that are interested in this. But if they need real help, I'm going to ship them off to somewhere else because I don't want to be on stage
Yeah.
talking about QSBS and all the
Yeah.
nuances there and like how to convert them. I don't want to do that. That's not my thing. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so AI can give you the basic information, but to your point, really that nuance. That's what people want, though, right? If you want the serious people who want to get beyond how to swing a baseball bat, how to hit, home runs when you struggle with this, and how to adjust your feet, bat swing,
Yep.
bat speed, all stuff. That's really where they're going to want the humans. And I don't know. We're so far off from that equation being fixed. It's not even worth
Yeah.
talking about. Like it's like, yeah, maybe one day you can have a holodeck like on the Enterprise and you can simulate it, maybe. But we are so far
Yeah.
from that. That's not even
Yeah.
close.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I definitely agree. It'd be wild to
So
see where it all goes, but we'll see.